Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of the Lenten season, a period of 40 days of penance and fasting, during which time many Christian denominations prepare to reflect on the Passion of Christ. Carnaval is a festive tradition of dancing, singing, and merrymaking in the weeks prior to the start of Lent, and culminates in 3 days of activities immediately preceding Ash Wednesday. The tradition was once widely practiced in the Catholic communities of northern Belize and continues to be practiced in a few communities in the districts of Corozal, Orange Walk, and the island town of San Pedro. In this volume of the Belize Cultural Celebration Series, we will take you to the communities in the Corozal district and San Pedro Ambergis Key as we introduce you to the history, music, dances, and rituals of Carnaval.
Carnaval in Belize is believed to have been brought by refugees who fled Mexico during La Guerra de Castas or the Caste War of Yucatan from 1847 to 1901. These refugees brought with them many aspects of their culture, including language, food, music, dance, and Catholic practices. The tradition of celebrating Carnaval before the start of Lent was one of those customs. While the tradition is no longer fully practiced in many of the communities, it has remained alive in the village of Caledonia, Corozal, where a few families still observe Carnaval as an important pre-Lenten tradition. Similarly, on the island of San Pedro, the celebration is referred to as El Gran Carnaval. This has grown into a popular town festivity which comprises of almost a week of activities. Community elders in San Pedro recall Carnaval being celebrated as far back as the 1930s and was no doubt also influenced by the arrival of Caste War refugees. In recent years, the tradition has become one of the major events in the island's cultural calendar. Residents, local visitors, and tourists look forward to its celebration. Although the celebration of Carnaval on San Pedro has changed at a faster rate than the celebrations on the mainland of northern Belize, it still retains key traditional elements. The Carnaval season begins with Los Enmascarados, which is traditionally held 9 days before the 3 days of Carnaval. Los Enmascarados is best described as a masquerade in which dancers, accompanied by musicians, parade throughout the community streets at night, dressed like old men, witches, ghosts, demons, and even priests. These performers are known as Los Disfrazados, that is, persons wearing disguises. One person in the group is also entirely disguised as El Diablo, or the devil, and his identity remains unknown to the rest of the community until Carnaval season is over. El Diablo is a central character during Carnaval, and along with Los Enmascarados, is a reminder to the community that evil is lurking. He is also brought out to remind children that they should be of good behavior. In the past in San Pedro, the Carnavalistas or Carnaval participants announced the program for El Gran Carnaval on the Saturday before Ash Wednesday, known as Sábado de Bando. The Carnavalistas painted their faces and wore colorful costumes and attended the Baile de Disfraz, or a masquerade ball. Today, efforts are being made to revive this aspect of the tradition in San Pedro. Additionally, on Sábado de Bando, the San Pedro Town Council organizes a Carnaval Fiesta, or a block party with dances, food, and music. The festive spirit of Carnaval continues with La Pintadera, and as the name suggests, it involves the painting or dabbing of those who partake in Carnaval. La Pintadera is held as early as a week before the 3 days of Carnaval in Caledonia. There, it is referred to as Los Negritos, a reference to the male dancers who are painted using a black tint made by mixing the ashes from burnt calabash with water. Carnaval season was an outlet for highlighting sensitive social issues, such as racial prejudice, in a less intimidating manner. Once painted, the group goes throughout the community and performs various comparsas, which include songs and dances. In San Pedro, La Pintadera is one of the highlights of Carnaval season. Boys and girls band together in an effort to paint the other group. In the past, various traditional items were used to make the paint.
Cuando llegaba el tercer día, sea el tizne, el de las calderas,
ajá.
con manteca.
¿Con
Estaba
manteca?
feo, pero con eso pintaban, ahí quema con el sol. Pero eso es lo que
Con eso
usaba.
pintaban de
El
los
primer día
negritos.
pintaban a veces con poda o harina, polvo de harina. Segundo día usaban un ingrediente que le llamaban almagre, no sé de qué se compone, si es para componer pintura,
¿El
pero es
glue?
un polvo rojo,
Oh,
rojizo, de como rojo. Y anil, ¿no es?
anil.
Blue.
Sí.
Y eso es lo que usaban. El tercer día entonces es cuando iban a estar usando el tizne de las calderas, es decir, se cuidaban más porque a todos van de negro. Pero no iban a manchar a una señora. Si alguien iba a manchar a una señora, todo el mundo lo iba a saber y lo iban a criticar porque no, ese ya no es jugar carnaval, ese ya es hacer maldad.
Over the years, the materials have been replaced by water paint. However, la Pintadera remains a prominent feature of Carnaval in San Pedro. On the Tuesday night before Ash Wednesday, town folks, including adults, children, and visitors, are painted as the festivity takes to the streets and ends at the Central Park. One explanation given for the purpose of the painting is that it is done in anticipation of Ash Wednesday, when the priest places ashes on the parishioner's forehead as a symbol of penance. In this way, washing off the paint is also symbolic of the Christian value of repentance and being born anew. Los 3 días de Carnaval, or the 3 days of Carnaval, commences on the Sunday immediately before Ash Wednesday. The season is represented by a life-size stuffed effigy known as Don Juan Carnevale, who represents the wanton revelry associated with the season. There are many stories about the origin of Don Juan, and in both communities, residents believed he was once a real living man. Don Juan Carnevale traces back to Mexico, where he is still burnt as part of the celebration. In Belize, the Carnaval comparsas represent a fusion of Yucatec Maya, African, and Spanish heritage. Traditionally, the comparsas groups would incorporate new songs into their dances each year. The comparsas, therefore, reflected the social atmosphere and issues of the time. It is during this time that community issues and other sensitive topics would be brought out in the open using humor.
Bueno, la parte más que me gusta de bailar el carnaval es de la culebra. La culebra y el papalotito. De la culebra es donde se pierde un chamaquito y lo andan buscando y su papá lo halla después. El papalotito es cuando uno se sienta, se pone de abuelito. Entonces el hijo viene y le dice que quiere, que le den permiso que trepe su papalotito. Y uno le tiene que darle chistes para que la gente se rían, que te van aplaudiendo, te gritan, después te das el permiso que trepe el papalotito.
Some comparsas became favorites in communities across northern Belize, such as El Baile del Torito, or the Dance of the Bull, which is reminiscent of the bullfighting tradition popular in Spain. La Cinta, or the Maypole dance, is also found across different cultures and reflect a European influence. El Gran Carnaval de San Pedro features different comparsa groups, depicting a variety of themes as they go out throughout the streets, sharing the festive mood with their performances. Carnaval is also an opportunity for community fundraising, as families and businesses give cash and in-kind contribution to enjoy the comparsas. The funds collected are donated to community causes or are saved for materials needed for next year's performances. In Caledonia Village, Carnaval is still practiced by a few families. In the past, The members of various comparsa groups belong to several families. Today, Doña Ernestina Mo and her family are the last remaining comparsa group who organize carnaval in the village.
Vamos, vamos, jovencitos, vamos, vamos a bailar. Celebremos todos juntos los 3 días de carnaval. Pones y panes, chicrillo, coste, esta cinta que tenemos materia.
The songs performed in Caledonia are very old, having been passed down through several generations and incorporated by family members who joined them from other communities. In recent years, the comparsas have been expanded to include another traditional mestizo dance, el baile de la cabeza del cochino, which translates into the hog head dance. The funds collected from the comparsas help to offset the expenses incurred in organizing the celebration. At the end of the 3 days of singing, dancing, and merrymaking, Carnaval comes to an end with the burning of Don Juan Carnaval. Juan Carnaval is burnt either the Tuesday night before Ash Wednesday or as in San Pedro on Ash Wednesday night. Spectators come out to see the final Carnaval performance as Don Juan's death is portrayed as an amusing tragic drama. He is surrounded by La Viuda, his weeping widow, and Las Novias, or girlfriends, who are there to hear his testamento, or final will. Don Juan was said to have known everyone's secrets in the community, some of which would be revealed through his will. The reading of the testamento is a comedic outlet for residents to address current events and social issues affecting the community.
Juan Carnevale is the patron of Carnival, right? Carnaval. He's the patron. So when he is burnt, all the evils of society is supposed to go with him. So Carnival is a time for merriment and entertainment, evils, and so when he's burnt, everything's supposed to go with him. In the event, that is what the people believe, in the event that he is not burnt, something evil could happen to people in the village.
On the morning after Don Juan has been burnt, businesses and residents in San Pedro begin the community cleanup as another Carnaval season has come to an end. Those that participated in Carnaval join other churchgoers to receive their ashes. The period of revelry has ended to make way for the observance of the Lenten season. Like most traditional festivities, Carnaval has transformed over the years to meet the changing conditions and aspiration of communities. In Caledonia and San Pedro, the survival of this tradition has largely been due to residents' recognition that it is an important element of their cultural heritage. In other communities, where it is no longer practiced as a pre-Lenten ritual, Carnaval songs and dances continue to thrive through performing arts programs, spearheaded by schools and cultural art groups. NICH, through the Houses of Culture, have also led community programs to document and revitalize the tradition with the hope that these efforts will keep the tradition going for the benefit of future generations.